Random question: did all the church hipsters turn into creatives?
All the church hipsters.
That's a good question.
It is a good question. I was just thinking about it. I was like, all the hipsters disappeared.
Yeah, maybe they're from like Andrew Garfield's universe. And
oh my gosh,
I'm like, who knows?
like maybe the hipsters are from that universe. The creatives are in Tom's universe, and maybe like the very first like rock star worship leaders are from Tobey Maguire's universe. It's just the same thing, all just together, one multiverse.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, to answer your question practically, I feel like some of them have.
Yeah.
But some of them, like, I'm trying to, like, place them, and I can't really, like, place them. Like, maybe they've just, like, grown up into, like, actual adulthood and, like, changed a little bit. Like, but I don't know.
I think that there's something special happening in the creative era of the nation and this, as in the church as a whole. And, like, not to go deep in that question, but that's where the era I feel the Holy Spirit is in. Like, so this is a theory. So I'm gonna say this theory. So growing up, when you were in youth minute, you grew up in church. Who was the coolest person in the room, like in a staff meeting at church? The youth pastor, right?
Probably,
ripped jeans, skinny jeans, and then those were in style. I'm wearing skinny jeans right now, but I always try to wear baggy jeans. Coolest person used to be the youth pastor. So growing up, everyone wanted to be a youth pastor. I just feel like that's shifted personally from even being in youth ministry. At my church, our students there's a lot of creatives, like what they do after school, like on social media. Half of them are going to their rooms and making their beats. Half of them are singing. Half of them are even dancing. They're creating their own clothing lines. I even met with Pastor Jasmine. She said that she was like, being the athlete in the room is no longer the coolest person in the room. You're just one of them. Like, you're just one of the seats. Like, now all the creatives, this is a new era that we're in. So personally, I'm honored that the Lord's like I'm sending you to be in this role, in this place, because that's where my presence is right now. Like, I just feel the Lord is so into creativity. He always has been, obviously, like from Genesis, but I just feel like that's where there's something special about winning souls through that in this season. As far as winning students. So it's funny because I'm like, Lord, what the heck? Like, I've been in youth ministry. He's like, dude, you're going to be in youth ministry more than you think you are because of the creative element of winning students through media, through design, through the arts. And so I'm like grateful that he has like the mercy and the grace for me to even step into that. But personally, like, I've been in youth ministry, and a lot of students, they just don't want to be like in a typical youth group being preached at anymore. Like, they want to be hands-on. They want to be the person behind that camera right now filming. They want to be helping with design. They when you can get students about youth ministry, like when you get them involved, obviously you know that they'll be about it. But I see, like, so one time I asked a creative, when I used to run our chapel at Mercy Culture morning chapels, I used to bring different people in to preach. And like, I'd bring in like pastors in our church to preach, and they were like, yeah, that was good. Every time I brought in someone from our creative company, they were like locked in. And I was like, what the heck? Like, this is a pastor, like, of the house, incredible preacher, communicator, which is awesome. And that's their gift. But when I would bring in the creative team, all the kids were into it. And so it just showed me, like, even from Gen Z, they're like listening to the creatives. I also heard this from someone. It was really good. Will Ford, he's awesome. He said this. He said, kids no longer want to hear from the heroes. They want to be taught how to be the hero. And he was saying that, like, kids don't want to just be like hearing from the firefighter on parent teacher day. When they come in and show them, they want to be taught how to be that hero. Like, they want to be the hero now. That's why they're really into like YouTubing, and that's the era of it's in. So if that's where it's already going, it's teaching them how to do it with the presence of God and bringing them into Christianity. And it was like a loaded question in that question. And yeah.
So let me ask you this. This is, I guess, even kind of almost, in a sense, further your point. Give me a song lyric, preferably not a Christian
Intentions?
song. Not
okay,
a Christian
I got
song.
you.
It doesn't have to be long.
Picture Perfect, You Don't Need.
So that's, who was that?
Justin Bieber.
Okay,
I mean,
give me another one.
It's one of the two people he listens to.
One of the
Justin
two.
Bieber and Mercy Culture Worship.
Mercy Culture Worship, Justin Bieber, and Lonnie Rose.
And Lonnie
Very
Rose.
good point,
Shout out to Brother Lonnie. Okay, let's go with the Bieber guy. So we take him, for example, okay? Give me a quote from George W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
Uh-huh.
George W. Bush. That's the first. That's the first Bush. And that's the second Bush.
No, HW is the first one.
Okay, George W.
is ours.
Quote. We're gonna take
don't
the
even
fight to
struggle with it.
Afghanistan.
The reason why I bring that up is we've talked about it before. Who was it? I want to say somebody said that our musicians, creatives are our modern day philosophers.
Robbie Zacharias.
Yeah. You know, they are our modern day philosophers. So we like you asked me the same question. I can quote you
Biggie.
you know, Lil Wayne. I can quote you Lil Wayne lyrics to like a lot of his songs. Ask me something from some politician or whoever, and I just blank out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so those people, those influencers, those people in media and things like that have such a big influence in our lives. You know, through their words, through their creativities. I mean, how many times can I sit here and quote you something that I listened from a podcast I listened to or a show that I listened to, whereas, you know, you ask me something else, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, so I think the space that you're going to your point, is something that is really impactful, you know, to our society, our present day society, where more people are listening to podcasts, more people are making podcasts, watching videos, and wanting to find different creative outlets that maybe they didn't think they could fit in before, you know, so.